It's Thursday. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. What's that mean? That means you and I have a podcast to do.
We're live. Bet you didn't know I could.
Some of us are a little more alive than others.
I'm just saying that I look forward to this moment with Mr. Tim Gillette. I look forward to this moment. I'm just saying.
Okay. You know, I only have 2 podcasts now. I've got was working on kicking the third one back in, but I've had over the years, I have a ton of podcasts, right? So I had a Tim Gillette show from October 2002, all right, until May of 2022, all right. And I've one version or another where I was doing that show. And about 2016, I started doing individual shows, all right, without a co-host. It was just me talking,
just
right?
Yourself.
Maybe doing Q&A. And then during the pandemic, 2021 is when I started doing shows with you, with Gladys. All right. It was more co-hosted shows.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do co-hosted shows. Just that's what the right people showed up to do it. Now, I've not done my Tim Gillette show. All right. May, which is 3 months away. It will be 1 year.
Wow.
This morning.
Yeah.
This morning, I got 20 emails. Hey, so-and-so would be good to be on your show. And I'm like, I haven't done the show in a year. And it's like, if you go to the webpage, it says, all right. And I don't know if I can do it. Wait a minute. Yeah, I can do it, I think. Let me see if I can do. I'm going to pull it out of this one here.
Pull it up.
I'm going to pull
it up.
I'm going to pull the page up and show. Share screen.
So, in other words, they haven't really been paying attention.
They haven't really paid attention. So, all right.
They just want to get on a show.
Yeah. Thank you. I personally want to say thank you for 10 great years of interviews. At this time, the Tim Gillette Show is on hold. We may bring it back in late 2023 or early 2024. Yeah. But right now, the only interviews we are doing are for Inner Circle members. All right. And that is, I think some people are like, but I want, there's a few exceptions out there. There's people who paid me to be on that show. All right. And that's the model I may go back to, is making people to pay me to be on the show, by the idea of saying, do you have a podcast? And when they go, no, it types off, okay, here's what it takes for you to be on the show.
Yeah.
And if they want to pay, great. If they don't want to pay, great. Doesn't matter to me. But anyway, it's been a year, and it's anyway.
I'm just saying, I really look forward to this show once a week. I very much look forward to the bantering we have going back and forth and the topics we talk about. And granted, this is definitely taking its turns and twists over the time we've been on for a year, maybe 2 years.
We've been on a year. This is episode number 57. We've been on it for about a year and a half. All right.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been at least a year.
Yeah, we couldn't do a show last week because I was away. One of the few conferences I'm going to this year. All right. There's only 3, maybe 4. All right. I can't remember this 4th one, whether I'm going to say yes or no, but I've got 2 more left. All right. When they're done, I'm not signing up for more. I'm just not going away to a conference right now because everything I've got going in my life. I'm like, I'm not going, this past weekend I did. And when I got there, all right, like I finished up, Thursday's a busy day. I finished up. I actually listened to the other call that I have in the car on the way down to sign into my hotel room down there, to finish listening to call in the hotel room, only to have to leave. And like this hour that we're doing now, last week, I was walking from my hotel to the convention center in the frigid cold, all right, holding my hat down and with the wind,
because of the wind,
to go there, register to get in, right? And I wished after I got there, not that I didn't have a great time, but I'm like, man, it was maybe, let's say 15 to 22 miles from the house. Traffic headache and rush hour, but if I'd have waited till after rush hour, I could have done it, right?
Yeah.
And I wished I wouldn't have got the hotel. I wished I would have just drove back home, all right? Because, I hated being away from home, and I realized when I got home, on Saturday that my to-do list went from this pad, right,
to
this pad and this pad. Yeah, I have 3 pads of to-dos to try to catch up from being out of my office for 3 days. Yeah.
Yep. I know through the whole COVID thing and everything, I would have thought that a lot of times I didn't want to go out of the house. I mean, sometimes I thought I wanted to because I was missing people. But then the more we got sequestered, so to speak, the more comfortable I was getting being in the house and the more comfortable I was getting doing Zoom calls. And I know a lot of people say, I hate doing Zoom calls. They're a pain in the butt, blah, blah, blah. I think they're great. Personally, I think they're great. Podcasts, I think it's a great opportunity to be in your own domain and still talk with people that are from all over the place. I think it's a great opportunity.
Yeah. So, I mean, and even this year, because I'm one of the controls. This year I ran the controls behind it. I did my virtual event yesterday, Tuesday, which I ran the controls behind it. Monday night, the podcast with Gladys, I run the controls behind it. But like if I'm on my Zoom meeting, so it's like if it's a group meeting, I'm working on other stuff. I've got 3 screens. I could put it over here, and I'm even working on putting a TV up here, all right, with that extra computer plugged to the TV to have the meetings on the TV and not on the computer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on getting a TV up over here too that I can try and do that as well, but that's a work in progress. Still working on it, slowly but surely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still decorating the office at this point. It's just, I don't want to just put anything up, I mean, it's funny because we were just talking about it. We had our house for 22 years. When we first moved into that house, we didn't even have enough furniture to fill it. When we moved out, we had so much damn stuff, we had to get rid of a lot of it. And so I'm trying to be more methodical when it comes to putting things up. I don't want to just say, oh, this picture, we'll put it up there. That should look good.
Here's a picture. There's a picture.
Just put it everywhere. I don't want to do that. I want to be methodical with this because I don't want to put holes all over the walls. It's a brand new house. So
I know. Well, I moved my files right here again. And my old house, they were here. All right. My desk is still reversed. And I'm still doing this because it's still messing me up.
Yeah.
I am going to probably have to change the wall and make it go so the desk go this way. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But anyway, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, it's a work in progress, just like anything. We both moved.
Yeah. So, if you notice, there's more in the background of mine because I pushed the desk further back to try to start making my filing system work and all that. Yeah. It's just, It is. It's trying to get yourself. It's almost like, I mean, I dated a girl many, many years ago who talked about, when she talked about her business was about like interior design, and she called it like your feathered nest. And she talked about a bird having to get the feathers into the nest so that it, they felt comfortable sitting in. And I forget the analogy. All right, I try to forget a lot of things about dating that woman. But I never forget good analogies. All right.
Yeah.
I'd like to forget some of the people I've dated, but anyway, that was before I was married. Anyway, but like analogies, I don't forget. And this was a good analogy. And it talked about, when that bird gets comfortable in that nest. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? It's not, They now feel comfortable raising a family or having chicks into it, stuff like that. And she explained that whole process and it made sense to me. Yeah. All right. And even now I look to every place I move into. How do I get this to flow? Right. And the last house was the first place I'd ever had in this business. My former business, I rented houses where I had 2 bedrooms and one of them was the office, one was my bedroom. But this business, until my last condo, I never had an office. I officed off the kitchen table, officed off the dining room table, the corner desk in the bedroom. All right. The closet down the hall. I mean, the spots I had to office out of were horrible.
The closet. That's funny.
Yeah. The Starbucks down the street. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Oh,
I get it. Yep. Totally get it. I've been there.
Anyway.
Yeah. But that's true. And, it's just trying, like you said, to make it your very own and make it comfortable so that, plus you want to make it look not only comfortable for yourself, but you also want people to see things that, it doesn't take away from the podcast or the Zoom call that you're doing. I mean, there are sometimes people, I see so much stuff in the back of them that I'm more interested in. Oh, what's that book they've got? Oh, that's an interesting. You're not even paying attention to them anymore because you're busy looking at what's in the background.
Or the distraction ones. Have you seen? Have you seen those Facebook? These people did not realize what was in their background when they were taking the pictures.
Oh, my favorite one. We talked about that.
Yeah, we
talked about my favorite one. It was a senator or something, and he was in a hotel. He had his camera on, and the girlfriend walked behind him, and she was scantily clothed, walked behind him. And then somebody said on the, oh, is your wife with you at the hotel? And then you hear somebody say, I don't think that's his wife. Needless to say, it's like, got to make sure you know what's in your background. Just say
yeah. Always, the lesson is always make your assistant get dressed when you're out at the hotel. When you're at the hotel.
Don't let her walk behind you.
Don't let your assistant walk behind you with their clothes off. Always tell her to put them back on.
Yes, just make sure they're clothed.
This is the business G-spot, ladies and gentlemen, and that there is. Anyway.
Oh my God, it was so funny. It was so funny. I was flipping literally through Flipboard, and I thought this was a really cool article. I don't know about you, but when it comes to being on computers and so forth, I know that my eyes, your close-up gets worse, and I have readers, but you get to that point where your readers have to be stronger and stronger for you to see anything.
Yes, I just bought a new pair over the weekend that are now for reading books.
Yeah.
You can't see, but these are designed to, like, I can't wear them on here because they shade my eyes like that.
They shade, yeah.
Yeah, and I can't, but they're designed. They're a lot more comfortable on the eyes to read while I'm reading something online than these. These ones here are designed so that I can be on the computer and you can see my eyes still.
Same
but
way
hold on, I can fix one thing so you can see better. I can just turn the damn lights on. Let's try these to light.
But there was this neuroscientist, his name is Andrew Huberman, and he's got side exercises that you can do to actually increase your sight ability so that you don't need as strong a reader. Because just like with anything, like with your brain or anything else, it's a muscle. And if it's not utilized properly, it starts to get worse. And I just thought the stuff he talked about was kind of interesting. He's talking about how most of it is you want to go outside. Because you don't want to.
I was thinking, wait a minute. Before you go to the serious, let's put the joke in. All right. Right. I was thinking eye exercises.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't do that. I can't do that. I can only wink one eye. I can't wink the other eye. Can't do it.
No. All right. Hold this. I thought you were going to like hold this eye for 10 seconds. Hold this eye for 10 seconds. All right. All right. Wait a minute. Hold both eyes for 10 seconds. Yeah, you can picture the stuff that's going to happen with this.
Hold both eyes for 10 seconds.
Now for the serious part of the article after Tim's done with the joke.
But he was saying you want to look outside, but you don't want to look through your windows because there's filters in the windows and you want the natural light from outside. So he was saying you want to go outside and you want to look at the horizon and just concentrate on the horizon. That's the farthest from you. Then you want to concentrate on the closest thing that's moving in front of you, whether that be a bug, a fly, or a bird that's flying in the distance, or a leaf. And you follow that just like, yep, exactly. That wouldn't work.
That would not work. There's my front yard, ladies and gentlemen.
Nope, that would not work.
All right.
But you can look in the horizon. You could look down that street and look in the horizon.
Yeah.
If you were outside. You don't want to look through the screen. I just thought it was kind of an interesting thing. And he said you should be doing this.
Is so noisy.
you should be taking this eye break every 30 minutes after you've worked at least for 90 minutes. So how do you do that? I mean, even if you put a timer on, if you're working through something, 90 minutes, oh, I got to take my 30-minute eye break. Hold on.
Well, be right back.
Yeah, be right back. I got to go take my 30-minute eye break. I just thought, wow, that's kind of interesting to,
Yeah.
I mean, as our eyes keep getting worse, but they say the reason why is because of the computers. Our eyes are not meant to stare at a screen all day. Just not meant for it. And that's the reason why so many of us are now wearing eyeglasses, where before.
And some of us keep getting eyeglasses and increasing the font on our computer at the same time.
It's really bad when you go into the restaurant to read a menu, and you've got it on your camera.
Oh yeah, now they want you to do it on your phone.
I know, and you're like, oh,
all right.
really?
So here's what happens. It is now 3:20 p.m. at my house. This is what happens at 3:20 p.m. at my house.
Oh, bus time.
That
the
bus stops right in front
home.
of my door every day.
Oh my God, you're making me dizzy. Make it stop. Make it stop. The bus is gone. The bus is gone.
But Tim's setting the camera up so that I can just at any point in time switch the camera, right? And go to.
You know what this picture reminds me of? Do you remember my cousin Vinny? So
yes.
So you could see through this dirty window and this screen and these bushes, you could see 75 feet away, clearly as day, that the two witnesses right here are the same ones you saw on that day, correct?
The two Utes?
Well,
the two Utes?
Maybe I didn't get a real clear picture.
Yeah. No, my favorite was the grits one on there. All right, but that and the two Utes.
What is this? They're grits. They're what? Grits. They're grits. How long does it take to make this? Oh, any Southerner tell you, good grits, you got to make it for at least 30 minutes.
No. I like that. What are the grits? Yeah, they're how many grits? Oh, I don't know. How many are there? You asked me.
I love that movie. Meanwhile, my biological clock is ticking. I love that movie. The Utes, the what? The what are you saying? The Utes?
Yeah.
The Utes? Oh my God, that's a great movie. I just thought that was interesting. Interesting fact. Not that it helps or anything, but I thought it was an interesting fact of life. Maybe it helps somebody out there with their eye.
That movie was, I'm trying to look and see if that was, that movie was the actor Fred Gwynne, the judge. That was his last movie before he passed away.
Oh, that's right. It was.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I almost everything I seen him in, I thought he was awesome.
He's such a great actor. And he looks so different when he didn't have his makeup on from Munsters. I mean, he just, the whole time you knew him as Herman Munster. The goofball.
Yeah, everybody knew him as Herman Munster, all right. But I remember him as Donald Davenport in The Secret of My Success.
Donald Davenport in The Secret to My Success.
That's the movie with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. I can't remember
who the actress was in that.
I forgot he was in that.
He was Donald Davenport, and at the meeting at the end, a young kid, Michael J. Fox, is, so Donnie, is that you? He's
long time. I have to watch that again. It's been a long time. Long time. Good movies. Very good movies. So I got a question for you.
Best movies.
And I'm not going to try and say age or anything, but this is something that I was thinking about. And it kind of ties in with business if you think about it too. But how would you say that your mindset or how you see life has differed from when you were 20 to now?
Well, when I was 20, I never thought the Eagles were ever going to be in a Super Bowl again.
Thought it never happened. Or
Yeah.
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Now, yeah, well, no. And now I think the Cowboys will never be in a Super Bowl again.
Well, the
Okay.
Lions are still trying.
And yeah, well, no, that's just a fact of life that no
They're
one's
still
ever tried
trying.
to dispute. The Lions will never win a Super Bowl.
They're still trying. But poor team. But I mean,
The
how would
Cleveland
you
Browns will never be. No, yeah.
say, how would you say you look at things differently from your 20s to now?
The women got better looking.
Oh, good answer. That's a good answer. Much better.
I learned. Wait a minute. You went there, so I'm going there. Or you open the door, so I'm kicking it wide open. Yeah. The older I get, the more I learned what a cougar was.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple other 4-letter words that describe that we're just not going to go into on the show, though. But some of them start with M and end with F. But anyway, there's some of them that, you know what I mean, start with B and with W. But there's some beautiful things I found about women.
And the
when
older
I was
they
20
get,
years old, I thought there was one woman you were supposed to get. She was in a tiny bikini, and every guy in school wanted her too.
she's only good for one thing.
Yeah, but if she's good at it.
Oh my God.
No.
Yes.
And when I was in my 20s.
Yes.
Okay, no. When I was in my 20s, there was a country song that I should have learned to love. Now, I kind of like it because as I got older, I learned the meaning of that song and I learned the truth behind that song.
And the song is?
Older women are beautiful lovers.
They're a lot more attentive.
Yes. Because I did learn, all right, in my 20s, like, you know what I mean? You're given this, but this is an analogy for business, but you're given this thing as a guy in school, all right, that Jenny, whoever, let's just make her name Jenny Z. I don't want to use any other, all right, Jenny Z. Jenny Z is the ideal woman, and every guy in the class wants to date Jenny Z. You know what I mean, right?
Oh yeah, I know. I went to school with a couple of them.
Yep. But then we get out into business, and we all think we're supposed to be, because as kids, all right, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a policeman, I want to be a, whatever it is, astronaut. We all get stuck on that same mindset in our 20s.
Yep.
Right. And we all believe that that's what we're supposed to be. It's not until we have that one major fuck up. I hate to say it, but that's that one major fuck up in life. Yep. You end up divorced. You end up fired from your ideal job. You end up losing a house.
Yep.
You end up losing a child, God forbid, right?
Yep.
Those moments, take your mindset and open them up. Jenny got married to Billy, right? It blows your mind, all right? Ends your world. And about 10 years later, Jenny gets divorced. All right? And you start to see, and I'm using this word now, that you start to see opportunities, right? I want to say it was late 30s when I actually looked at opportunities opening up and went, oh my God, why was I so narrowly focused in my 20s? All right. And that's I'm using the Jenny thing as an analogy. This is life, ladies and gentlemen. This is life. That's, pick whatever it is. I just use the, use this in business, use it in your job, your church, your whatever group it is. This, ladies and gentlemen, defines mindset in our 20s.
Yep.
We are so pinned and focused on what we've got to be, who we got to date, who we got to marry, where we got to live, what house we got to live in.
Tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision. And the day that the eyes are opened wide, all right, you know what I mean? I can tell you business, all right? The time I realized, oh my God, this business isn't going to work, and I gave it up and moved on and did something else. Oh, wow, this business is much easier. About the third time of doing my automotive businesses, it was about my third or fourth one that I really found a niche into it. Once I went, that's it. This one's not working. Close this one down, move on, and try to build a new model. That was where the eyes opened up to go, oh my God, I can do this with it. Oh my God, I can do that with it. There's so many tweaks that I can do with it. Why did I not think of that?
Yep.
You take that to the ideal house. Well, you've got to have the 4-bedroom, 3-bath house that has the 2-car garage, and it's an ideal 2.2 miles from the high school you grew up from. All that bullshit. And you get so narrowly focused into it and realize, wait a minute, if I step outside of the town, there's a whole other world out there. For instance, I lived in a town called Souderton, Pennsylvania, where I went to high school. The opposing football team that was our rival was Penn Ridge, right?
Okay.
Penn Ridge High School was the opposing thing, and I remember the first time that I was like offered to buy a house in their school district. I'm like, I can't buy a house in that school district.
That's my
That's my rival. I can't do that.
That's sacrilegious.
I know. And like to look at it now, going, later on, I lived in so I'm like, what the hell was I thinking?
Yep.
But that's just one area. You take that mindset goes to a million things in life.
Yep, I agree. I totally agree. And I think the younger you are, the more, like you alluded, the more tunnel vision you have, because you only see one road. You haven't lived long enough to see the other roads that come before you. Because as we know, anytime you make a decision or you come up, you've got several roads that you have an option to go down based on your decisions. Yeah. But you don't see that when you're in your 20s because you haven't lived long enough. Most of us haven't. There are some that have gone through life by their 20s, they've lived quite a bit. Some. But for the majority of us, we get that one road, that tunnel vision. My tunnel vision was when I was a kid, ever since I was little, I wanted to be an entertainer. I wanted to act. I wanted to dance. I wanted to sing. I wanted to be an entertainer on the stage, doing all of that. And that was my tunnel vision. But then I realized that my epiphany was I went and sang at a bar with this band. They let me get up and sing, and everybody was, oh, you were so good, blah, blah, blah. But my epiphany was the girl told me, I said, you guys are so good. Why are you still at this bar? Why aren't you guys? She said, honey, it's not how talented you are. It's where you are at the right time, that the right person sees you at the right time. Doesn't matter your talent. You can be as talented up the yin yang, but if you aren't in the right place at the right time, you're never going to be seen and you're never going to be known. And I kept thinking, no, that's not true. That is not true. If you're talented enough, they'll find you. Nope, that's not true. It is true. And the thing is, even though it dashed my dreams, she also asked me something that really stuck with me. And she said, you got to ask yourself, how badly do you really want this? Because this is where you start singing in bars, little bar hops like this. And you travel here and then you travel there and you're traveling all over the place at these bars. How badly do you really want this? And I didn't want it bad enough. It's like, I don't want this. This isn't what I signed up for. So I think a lot of times when we're younger, we have that vision in front of us and we don't see on either side what it takes to get there. And is it really worth what we thought it was going to be?
Yeah.
So, and I just realized I didn't want it bad enough. I just didn't. And that was bad on me, but things change. Things change, just like with business. Things change. Look at COVID, how much it changed everything. In fact, I was reading an article that was saying that a lot of men between 45 and older are bowing out of the industry altogether in regards to working because they all decided to either retire early or do something totally different, like start their own business, whatever the case may be. But they said they're actually having a hard time, as we've talked about on the show, they're having a hard time finding people that are willing to work and willing to do the job. Not anybody wants to do it for dirt cheap anymore. They're done.
Yeah.
And they got choices. And that's what COVID made us look at is, wow, we've got choices. We don't have to be doing this. We've got choices out there. So I just thought, I mean, if you think about it, that's the way business is. You've got choices, but what those choices are is going to be up to you and how you manage to take those choices and run with them.
Mm-hmm. So, what choices are you making now in your 50s?
I'm making them more strategically. I'm looking at the whole picture, not just business. I'm looking at what makes me happy, what makes me light up, what makes me feel content and fulfilled. And in my 20s, it was just, I just got to get the job and make some money. I don't care what it is. I just got to make some money. And now, because I've gone through the experiences and everything that I have, it's a different mindset. Now you're looking at it as, it's not just a job. It's I don't know if you want to call it a vocation, or a career. It's a feeling. How does it feel inside when you're doing these things? I mean, you said you changed businesses 3 different times.
I changed in the automotive business 3 different times.
But you've also changed over the time of what you started at. When you were in your 20s, where you started to where you are now, you've evolved and you've gone along with various different business modalities, business mindset, business patterns, right?
Mm-hmm.
You change those, and now you're changing even now because you just said at the beginning that you do things now that fulfill you. You're not doing things just because everybody else wants you to do them.
No, I now do things because, you know what I mean? I have a focused goal of what I'm working on. So,
but that focus also comes within to make you feel more fulfilled. If you weren't feeling fulfilled, would you really be doing this?
that's probably I guess you're right, Eric. It's probably one of the reasons why there's certain things I'm going, no, I won't do that anymore.
No, because you don't want to do it. If it's shitty stuff that you just don't want to do and you're doing it thinking, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
If you're asking yourself, why am I doing this? Then maybe it's time to change what you're doing.
Well, I mean, over the past few weeks, all right, number one, I talked about, when we first went live today, of how many people are reaching out to me about my show. I'm like, I just said I wasn't going to do it anymore. It was for the amount of people who were using me, I was done with it. Right. It's not that I didn't enjoy doing it, but I did it. I had a podcast because I wanted to be on other people's podcasts. Right. And 90% of the people came to me and went, well, no, I don't have a podcast, but I want to be on yours. And I'm like, and like, they didn't want anything else from me. No, they just wanted to attach into my audience. Right. And I remember the one guy who actually, I mean, I had this strict thing on politics on my show. All right. And this one guy, after he was on the show, put this whole thing up on his Facebook page. I don't even think he may have unfriended me on Facebook. I don't even know. But his whole thing was hatred, not towards the politician, but towards the people who voted for such politician. And I'm like, I don't tolerate that. I won't. All right. And I started putting in my descriptions telling people, listen, if you don't fit my guidelines, I'll yank you. Now, I will interview you even if I disagree with the way you do business or the way I think, I mean, I may not agree with what you do, but I'll interview you and make you look good at doing it. Right. But if you do things in a way that I feel is harming the human beings in life, I won't keep your podcast up. I'll yank it. And I had people that, right, the second that, I made people sign up for a list to get on. Number one, you had to go through a list. There was no way you're getting on my podcast without getting in a list. All right. And it's because I was building a list of people who were podcast guests. All right. And people hated that. Oh, I don't want. Why should I have to sign up for a list? Well, then I guess you want to be on my podcast.
No.
So then I started. Why don't I make people pay? Well, why should I pay to be on your podcast? Do you have a podcast? No. That's why you should pay. Anyway, you take that to the next frustration. This week alone, all right, I've had a half dozen people say, hey, man, I want you to come to such and such event with me. First question, what's the event about? because I have two different and I'm not telling the people on the show what my guidelines are. There's two different focuses I have for events. If you don't fit either one of those focuses, I'm not coming. Even if you offer me a speaking position, I'm not coming. It doesn't fit one of two tracks that I'm working on right now.
Yep.
I'm not going to an event to hang out for 4 days. I'm definitely not going to an event to speak at it when the event is over here and I'm focused here.
Mm-hmm.
Waste of my time.
Yep. I agree.
You know?
And I think that's the one thing that I learned in my 50s and up is that you can't buy back time. You cannot go in and say, I'll buy that hour back, please. You cannot buy back time. No. And so I cherish my time and I use it to the best of my ability to get the things like you said. Your vision is here, your goals are here. And if there's stuff over here that's taking up your time, you're wasting your time. And I think a lot of times, especially if you've got a podcast and you're good at doing this and setting it up, it's an opportunity for somebody to go in and get on your coattails, say, okay, Tim, can you just, get me a spot here in front of your people? And then, and can I get your list too, so I can mail them all my stuff? And it is what it is, because I remember, I don't know if you remember the guys that were doing the radio in the back a ways when Craig was working with them. They were called Double Wide Radio or something like that.
Yeah. I know. Actually, I used to be on that network.
I did too. And I enjoyed it immensely. And I remember Craig was in his group and he said, anybody who's got a radio station, stand up. I had so many people coming to me after that event. Can I get on your show? Can I get on your show? Can you get? Yeah. And I would ask them, well, what is it you do? Oh, no, that doesn't tie in with anything I'm doing. Well, what is it you know that doesn't tie in with it? Well, can I just get on? And no, you're not the right fit for my audience. It's not going to work. And they would get so perturbed and upset. What do you mean it's not going to work? It's just a radio. So what's the big deal? It's a huge deal because it's my audience. Yeah. Just like it's your audience. And it's you want to make sure that you're providing something that's going to benefit.
You want to provide value, yeah. And this goes down into, let's take this down into another area in business is another area that I'm starting to do and weed out. When you talk about, there's things that, you realize not worth the value of your time anymore. They don't bring you energy, so why do them? There are certain clientele that come here that, I could solve their problems. I really could. But then they come in with, all right, this is what they need. This is what they can afford.
Yeah.
All right. Now, granted, maybe the price point that I'm offering for them, maybe that's the proper price point. But if it cost me, it's one of the reasons I did this in automotive. If it cost me so much in time to produce it, that my time's not worth the time of doing it. All right. For the headaches, I won't do it.
Yeah.
I've had someone come up over the last few years. All right. Let me just decline that call right now. Well, yeah, every day I get 2 or 3 of them where they just try to call to sell me something. And I found a way to deal with another thing I don't want to deal with. All right. Is sales calls. I found a way to finally deal with them that works 100% of the time. You get on the phone, you answer the call, all right, and they say, so Mr. Gillette, how you doing today? You ready for this? This is the answer you do. Katrina, I'm doing fucking great. You know what you hear after that?
Click.
Click. No. But did I insult them? Did I use the word improperly?
Nope.
No, but I used one word that all their systems are shut to disconnect you on.
Yep.
But I learned to do it in an enthusiastic way that makes myself look good without looking bad. All right. Nope, they left a voicemail today. So shall we see what their voicemail is?
And there's the other thing while you're bringing up that voicemail. The other thing that irks me to no end is now you're starting to see they've got your phone number and now they're sending you texts. Hey, are you interested in blah, blah, blah? And now you've got to delete these
Talked to you
freaking
last week,
texts.
but I wanted to make sure you saw my emails about the Love Yourself Successful Summit and gift giveaway.
We know who that is.
Hey, Tim, this is Cameron with Catalyst Funding. Just reach out, see how you're doing. Give me a call back. It's 469-903.
Oh, beep,
No.
beep, beep, beep. Yep.
No, I know who that was. That's all right. I don't mind him, but I don't have his number saved in there. So
And that's the thing that drives me nuts when it comes to business, when we've been talking about, and still there are so many people out there that don't get it. People are tired of being sold. If I don't know your name and I don't know your business and I don't know who you are, what makes you think I'm going to buy from you?
yeah.
I'm sorry, but that means that you've either bought a list or you've got a list from somebody else and you're just going through your list and you're sending a bunch of crap and hoping it sticks. Not going to happen. I had an email. This woman sent me an email, and you know what I do. I build websites. She sent me an email saying, I think we can build you a really great website. Give me a call.
Yeah.
Do you not know what I do?
They don't.
Did you not look at my business to see what it is we do?
No. I'm starting to take and I'm looking forward to things. Here's something this is a Craig idea. All right. I have a lot more, but I have them stashed somewhere. This is just what I have in that drawer.
Got it. Yeah.
No stamp necessary. I actually have probably about 150 of these. So what I do is I print off this personal letter going to a training video with a link to a training video. Considering I know who most of the people are that opening that letters, I make the training video relate to them if they ever want to do an internet marketing thing.
Got it.
And then I put the letter in and I go by and I drop 10 to 20 of them off at the post office to mail them back. And I calculate if I send 20 back that week, how many people go to watch the video.
How many?
And I'm doing it on cartridge. So if they're ever in a cartridge system, I got them tagged.
And how many? How many have you had?
I get about 1 in 20 watches the video.
That's not bad.
And the whole objective is 1 in 20 to get them to watch the video and opt in. I don't do a sale. I try to get them to opt into something.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, even if they're opting in, what are you providing them when they opt in?
When they opt in, I think you should, this is just me in internet marketing, is I believe on a monthly basis, I should come up with some sort of free training for him to send an email to him to say, hey, I made this video for you today, Katrina. Go check it out. It'll show you how to shorten your time in creating content this month. And a link. And P.S. There's no opt-in. All right. You get to watch the video. Just click this link, watch the video, hit the play button. Right?
Yeah.
I do that for the purpose of I'm feeding them. Yes, at the end of a 20-minute training or 10-minute video, I'm going to make a small offer. They buy, they don't, they don't. But in the meantime, once a month, they're getting something for me for free.
Which is the key to sales when it comes to business.
Yeah.
The key to sales is you give first, and then you ask.
I just keep giving. You know what I mean? It's that what's that Gary V, the jab, right hook. All right. That's it. I just keep doing it. But I learned a thing from Frank Kern, because I've been in Frank Kern's inner circle. Gosh, I want to say going on 8 years now. And one of the things Frank Kern says is you've got to make your stuff so cool that you stand out from everybody else. Everybody else is out there. They open their email with, all right, I want you to buy from me today. All right. Yep. And they don't realize it. I knew speakers who, like, from the moment they open their mouth, the second they get on stage, they're selling to you.
Yep.
Right. I get up and give you something. And I remember saying this at my events, and I still do it on occasion, not as much. Terry Harden, one of my great clients, actually, you know what I mean, in my mastermind, told me how this impressed her. Is I tell everybody my sales funnel. This is what I'm going to try to do with you, so you know. And I tell them I'm going to give you this free information today because I'm going to make you an offer. I'm hoping that you come to my event. I'm going to offer you to come to my event. When you come to my event, I'm going to give you some more free training at the event. All right, going to bring you some other speakers come in to train you at the event. Hopefully, you can take home a bunch of stuff. And at the end of that, I'm going to offer you my mastermind. You know what I mean? And I explain the whole process. I'm doing this because I'm going to offer you this. Up front, I tell you up front, I'm going to sell to you. But first, I'm going to give you something. Yeah. All right. And so many people act like I'm going to give you something. Oh, no, don't worry about it. There's not going to be any sales pitch in this. I'm just going to give you something. And at the end of it, what is it? It's a sales pitch. I'm telling you up front, there's going to be a sales pitch.
Well, and I think, too, that people need to realize when they're going to an event and the event is free, there's going to be a sales pitch.
No. If you're going to an event, everything has a purpose.
Yes.
All right. Everything has a purpose.
And we're all in business to make money. So it astounds me when people walk in and say, oh my God, here we go. Here comes the sale. Of course. That's why you're there. That's why you're there. So some people will get up and leave. That's fine. No problem.
Yeah, because I want you to picture those same people if they opened up a grocery store. All right. Would they want people just to come in and look at the groceries? Sooner or later, they're going to want people to buy the groceries.
Yep. They can't leave their lights on. They can't buy my groceries. They can't give you produce or any of that other stuff until they make money. That's what business is all about.
Business.
And I think too that it's an opportunity for anybody that's out there that's just starting their business. If you go to free events knowing that yes, they're going to sell you, but so listen to that sale. Listen to number one, how are they selling you? How is it coming across? Number two, what is the cost for what they're giving you, the value, benefit, whatever the case may be? And three, is it something that you really need or not? Because you have the option to say yes or no. Just because you went and you saw what they had to offer, if it's not something that you need, that's fine. Turn around, you go to the next event. The next event may be the one that you need. It just depends. But you can't go in blinded thinking that, okay, I'm going to a free thing, but they're going to sell me. Of course they're going to sell you. It's a business.
Yeah.
And yes, but if they're giving you, but the mindset is if they're giving you all this information up front, imagine what more they can instill in you and help you with, and the benefits they can give you if you paid for whatever said service that they're providing you with.
It goes back to that, what we talked about when we started. It's that 22-year-old mindset.
Yep.
We have been so focused on, oh my God, they're giving this for free. Why are they giving it for free? All right. You know, the whole mindset of, well, I don't buy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And I remember the days when I started to open up my wallet to buy and invest in other things. That's when
things started happening.
My way, right? And I'm not saying that, you know what I mean? And I have this whole report written out on investment. And I got one of these days, I'm going to record it as one of my podcasts. But I'm talking about this whole idea of an investment, right? Everybody talks about investment, and 90% of the people using the word investment, what they really mean is, when they say, Katrina, you need to invest in yourself, what they really mean is, Katrina, you need to buy from me.
Yep.
All right. But they don't realize you know what I mean? You have to realize the purpose for investing in yourself, right? Investing in the right place, investing in ways, because when you do invest, all right, people are going to invest in you. It goes both ways. That's a whole game that you can get caught up in. And when you open the floodgates open for you, right? Yeah. I you know what? I have this outline. I have never recorded it, but I have it. And it goes back to, it's a Christian biblical teaching. And it talks about, is success really in the Bible? All right. And it goes through using Bible verses, sharing how success works. All right. And then it shows what the key is to success. Do you know what the key is to success?
Interesting. You know what I mean? Personally, I wouldn't think that there would be business models or business success in the Bible, but I guess if you really
The whole
look at
Bible's
it,
full of them.
yeah, you just
The
don't
Bible's
look
full
at it
of
that way.
one success story after another.
I know, but you don't look at it that way. You look at it
No.
as it's a story. So you don't
No,
look
we're
at
still
it
looking
as
at it with our 20-year-old mindset. That's going to be our key word. We're looking at it with our 20-year-old
20-year-old
mindset.
mindset. Yep, exactly. The narrow-mindedness. I mean, I did the same thing when I first started my business. Heck, I was going to every free thing I possibly could to learn as much as I possibly could. I wasn't ready to put money out at that time yet, but when I found that one opportunity, I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to invest. I'm going to do this. This sounds perfect for me. And it did. It opened up the floodgates. And before I knew it, my tiny little business that was just started to flourish. And then I started getting more clients, and then I started meeting more people, and I started getting into more business sectors. And I mean, it's true that yes, they are selling you on their product, but you still are investing in yourself. You're still investing the time. You're still investing the amount of money. You're still investing in yourself. And it's just a matter of, is it the right investment for you? And I think that's the hardest piece that and we've talked about this before in the show, that's the hardest piece a lot of people have is they have buyer's remorse. They'll invest in something and then they don't get what they were promised, or they went in blindly.
Or they don't get what they expected. They don't get what I'm trying to think of the word I want to put there. They don't get their unrealistic expectations.
No. And a lot of them don't take action.
There's a lot of that out there.
And a lot of them don't take action on things. Because even if you go to something free, there are still nuggets that you can go walk away with and do and put into place and actually get results. But 9 times out of 10, they don't do that. They don't go home and act on it. They say, yeah, I got all these notes in this book. They're really great and everything, but have you put anything into place? No, not really. Even when they'll pay for coaches and pay for other people, and then they walk away and say, that didn't work with shit. Well, did you put anything in place? No. Did you act on any of it?
This comes down to, I was talking with Larry Broughton a couple of years ago on networking. We were talking about going to networking events. And we were talking about how if you go to a free networking event, you know what you're going to do? You're going to talk to the 5 guys you know there every time. You might say hi to somebody new, right? If you pay $10 to go to that event, you're going to introduce yourself to the person hosting it and maybe 3 others. And then you're going to circle back and talk to the 2 people you know in the room.
Yep.
Now, imagine if you paid $25 to get in there. No. Let's go even better than that.
45.
Imagine paying $50 to get into a networking room.
Yeah.
Are you going to work that room?
Damn straight you are. You paid $50.
Not only are you going to work that room, but you're going to realize the people in that room invested $50 to get there as well.
Yep.
Different mindset of people. These people believed enough that you were going to be in the room that they paid $50.
Yep.
But did you, when you spent $50, believe in them enough that you spent the $50 to get to know them? That's huge. Larry and I talked about that one time, and I never forget that conversation with Larry Broughton. That was huge. Yeah.
Yep. And the more you spend, the bigger opportunities come before you.
Yeah.
But you got to start. You got to start somewhere, and that's the hardest part for a lot of entrepreneurs. Is I'm trying to watch every penny. I don't even have enough to pay myself. How am I going to have enough to pay for this?
I have not paid myself. Wait a minute. I have not paid myself in this business. And I've been, 14 years. Still have never taken a paycheck for my business. Why?
Because you invest. You're constantly investing.
Number 1, you can look at it as investment. Number 2 is this business pays for my lifestyle.
Yeah.
It doesn't pay.
So in some respects, you are paying yourself, but you're paying yourself in a different way.
I am. The difference is I turned my life into a business.
Yes. So
All
then
right?
You can have the life you want.
Yeah. So I go to an event, all right. If the event fits the nature of my business, all right, it is now a business expense. It is now a write-off as part of my business. I was going to go to that event anyway, but now I've been educated on how to run my business better, all right. And now it wasn't spending $500 to go to the event. It was now investing $500 to go to the event. This is my conversation about investing, right?
Yeah.
That's where people are missing this. They're missing the hole on that one every time because they don't get that concept of running a business. All right. And I'm not just doing it saying, well, I get to write off everything. No, there's a ton of shit that I don't do or that I don't write off because it's not a write-off. However, if I wasn't in business, I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, like you said, you're getting to live the life you want to live based on the business you've built.
Yes.
And both of us you are in a new house. You've just moved into I moved into we have all these things because we laid out our lives from the business so that we can have these nice things surrounding us and be in this.
Wait. This goes to show how long we've been here. Hold on.
Oh, wow. Just made its round all the way.
Another school bus.
Is that the high school?
I don't know. So no. When the first couple of days we were living here, we were working around the house and we come out in the middle afternoon and there's a car sitting on the street that comes right across from us, just sitting there facing us. People are sitting in it. We're like, what the heck are they doing? Are they staring at us or what? Right. And about 6 minutes later, the bus shows up and the kid gets out in the car. And, you know what I mean? They take off. To a point where there's one guy who comes on a regular basis for the 3 o'clock one. He lives down around the corner and he'll come over when it's nice weather. He'll come over with his golf cart. And I've been going out for something. I've stopped and talked to him, until his daughter gets off the bus. Then I take off, go down the road. Right. That's what they do. They all come and sit at that street. And sometimes there'll be 3 or 4 of them lined up. And it looks like they're all staring at my house. They're not. They're just sitting there waiting for the bus.
Yep. Always fun to be next to the bus stop. Get to see all the kids.
Yes, it is. It's always fun.
So what did we learn today, Tim? Business-wise, what did we learn today? We learned you have
Here's number one lesson of the day, all right? Be careful when making bets with Craig Nusswald.
True. Very true. But that was a good game. It was a good game. I will give
it. It was a damn good game.
It was a good game. I was glad to see that it was neck and neck instead of a blowout. It was a good game.
That was game. All right. And you could see with the last 3 minutes, the 2 minutes, it was really the 2 minute warning came. You knew that Kansas City was going to tie this thing up and win it.
Yeah. It was a good game.
You kind of knew it, but up until then, all right.
You weren't sure.
Yeah. And truthfully, what would have made it really great is that 8 seconds that Philly had left. If somebody thrown a Hail Mary and that ball had gotten loose and they made a run all the way down the field.
Yeah. Would have been nice, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Now
the Kansas City Chiefs have won their second Super Bowl.
Second Super Bowl. So I thought that Kansas City had won 2 and lost 1, but they had won 2 and lost 2, right?
Oh, so they're even.
Yeah, they're even. All right. Whereas Philadelphia has now lost 2 and won 1.
Well, they'll have another opportunity.
I'm pretty sure they were. I'll bet you that Philadelphia gets in there before Dallas.
They'll have another opportunity. It'll happen.
I'm willing to bet money on this. All right. Anybody who wants to take me up on this bet that Dallas or Philadelphia will be back in the Super Bowl before Dallas.
Oh, I'm sure that will happen. Positive.
I'm betting Jerry Jones would take me up on that bet.
No, I got to bet that they'll make it before the Lions.
The Cowboys may beat the Lions there, but it'll be close. It'll be real close.
It will be close. I'm just saying, it will be close.
All right. Well, it's been a fun week. All right. It's that time of the hour we get to wrap up our podcast. I'm Tim Gillette, Simple Easy Marketing. You can check me out at simpleeasyevents.com, simpleeasywebsites.com, timgillette.com. Anything that's related to Google Tim Gillette, you'll find me.
And you can find me, Katrina Garcia, at KG Website Designs, where we build you a website that works for you.
Yeah.
So until next Thursday, we're out of here. Later.
Next Thursday, we'll be month number 3.
Jeez, I
All
can't
right.
believe
We'll see you guys next month.
Bye.